My name is Harley Patterson, and this is my presentation on assessment and educational reform. This presentation will look at historical events that have modified or changed the way we have assessed students, federal legislation that changes the way that we assess students, recent assessment, and next steps where education may be going with assessment. In the 1960s, we started to really develop cognitive theory, how cognition matches up with what students learn and know. We started giving IQ tests and other inventories to assess what students are able to retain and figure out. In the 1990s, we attempted to connect that cognition to our issues with assessment. How did we figure out what students actually knew and could do based on their cognition? Between 92 and 96, we began to get standardized history standards. Every student should know these things regarding history. In 2000, most states began to implement a standard for math. In 2007, we got statistics standards that developed. And in 2009, most states began to implement Common Core. There has been legislation around the assessment of students of all levels, starting with the 1975 Education for All Handicapped Children Act from Gerald Ford. This is when the federal government mandated that all children, including those with disabilities, would be held to a standard. In 2002, President Bush signed the No Child Left Behind Act into law. This is where we got this big push for making sure all students meet the standards, the federal and state standards. In 2004, the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act brought those standards farther across the board and brought forth the accommodations and the modifications for those standards for students with disabilities. And in 2015, we got the Every Student Succeeds Act, which changes the way that students are assessed and what standards they need to meet. In many cases, this has made it easier for students to be successful because there are more opportunities for them to show what they know and are able to do. In recent years, assessment has changed in most states. For Virginia in particular, we've gone from paper pencil tests, the bubble sheets, to online tests. We've gone from these extensive, long booklets of test questions to computer-adapted tests that change based on the level of questions you have already answered, making the process quicker. And we've gone from waiting months to get SOL test results to getting them almost immediately within a couple hours or a couple of days in most cases. According to the Office of Educational Technology from the United States Department of Education, our methods of assessment, thanks to technology, are looking to change with the next generation of testing. Looking more at the complex competencies, having more technology-enhanced items, having more things that students have to do or manipulate in order to show what they understand. We're moving towards more performance-based assessment, being able to show that you can use the skills rather than just retaining facts, and moving more towards an ongoing assessment rather than focusing completely on the summative end-all be-all assessment. Looking at here's where we are and here's where we can go. thanks to the wonders of technology.